Good morning, all my dear students. So, here I have brought class 9 Science chapter 5, the fundamental units of life cell, part 4, which is a quick revision, or you can say it's a summary. You will find more details in this part. I hope you will enjoy it. Let's begin. So, the fundamental unit of the life. Here is the microscope. Now, this is the advanced microscope. These days, we use this kind of microscope to observe animal or the plant cell. If you opt for science for your higher studies, you will be knowing how to use such microscope. Now, cell, let's have a quick revision. Cell is the fundamental unit of the life. That means it is the basic structural and the functional unit of the life. It is known as the structural and functional unit of life because whole body is made up of cell. It is known as fundamental unit of life because all functions regulates inside the cell. Now this is a typical cell. You can see all the cell organelles which are present inside. You can see first of all cytoplasm. You can see nucleus in the center. You can see lysosome, which is also called the suicidal bag, powerhouse, mitochondria, nuclear membrane, which is surrounding the nucleus. Then you have nucleolus, Golgi apparatus, cell membrane, centroids, and endoplasmic reticulum, and ribosomes, which are the sites for the protein synthesis. So, cell, this type of cell is called the eukaryotic cell because it has all the major cell organelles within it. Now, onion peel, if you'll observe the onion cell or onion peel under microscope, you will observe such arrangement which look like cell or a brick. This is the sperm cell. You can see the sperm cell mainly have the tails, neck and the head part. They keep on floating and they will reach their target site after copulation, that is the ovum or egg. Fat cells, you can see that has cell nucleus and surrounding cytoplasm. They are quite bulgy in the nature. Blood cells, these are the pictures of RBCs. They are biconcave in nature. These are the only cell without the nucleus. Smooth muscle cells, so all these muscle cells, they are fibrous and thin and elongated from the corners. Now let's talk about the types of cell. The first, unicellular, we have already discussed in our previous part. The organisms which are made up by single cell are called the unicellular. Examples are amoeba and paramecium. Amoeba is irregular organism, whereas paramecium has slipper-shaped structure. Multicellular. Some organisms are constituted by many cells. These are called multicellular. Examples all animals, plants, humans. This is the amoeba. You can see it has irregular shape. What you find in the picture? It has in center spherical nucleus. Then it has food vacuole. Pseudopodia, false feet. Pseudo, that means false. Podia, that means legs. Then you can see a contractile vacuoles, endoplasm and ectoplasm. And you can find cell membrane. Paramecium, it looks like a slipper. It has cilia, the small fibrous structure which is responsible for the movement by the paramecium. Then it has food vacuole, contractile vacuoles. Then it has micronucleus and macronucleus. So it has two nucleus. Then it has cell membrane, posterior end, cytopharynx and the buccal cavity. Now this buccal cavity will act as the mouth for the paramecium. Now cell consists of different organelles like nucleus, cytoplasm, mitochondria, lysosome, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, plastids, cell wall and Golgi apparatus. Cell is divided into two categories. Prokaryotic, a well-defined nucleus are not present in that. Simple in structure, it contains single chromosome, that is called the nuclear material. Nucleus is either absent or very primitive type. Size of the cell is generally small, which is 1 to 10 micrometer. Whereas eukaryotic, their well-defined nucleus are present inside, complex in the structure. It contains more than one chromosome. Nucleus are present, or nucleus is present. They are generally large, which is 5 to 100 microns or micrometers. Various shapes of cells. So cells are found in various shapes such as round, spherical, oval, spindle and branch shape. Let's talk about the cell organelle first, nucleus. It is very important organelle of the cell as it regulates all the activities of cell. Nucleolus. It is the part of nuclear. It is also known as factory of ribosome. It creates ribosome. It helps in the protein synthesis of the body. Chromosomes. They are the vehicle for the genes or the genes carriers. Genes are carried by the chromosomes. Genes express our characteristics such as intelligence, complexion of skin, height, looks, features and eye colors. So sometimes you are noticed that people say that you look like your father, you look like your mother because you have carried their genes as the part of inheritance in the form of chromosomes while the cell division within the womb. Nucleolus. Nucleus, which is part of the cell. Generally, it is located in the center. It is spherical in the nature. It also has nucleolus and nuclear membrane surrounding the nucleus. Mainly, nucleus contains all genetic information in the form of chromosome, DNA and RNA. Nucleolus, you can see it is within the nucleus. Chromosomes, you can see that the shape of chromosome, it has 4 ends. In this 4 ends, it will carry DNA and RNA fragments. Endoplasmic reticulum. It is located around the nucleus of the cell. They are large network-like structure. It looks like long tubules, round or oblate bags or vesicles. They are of 2 types, rough endoplasmic nucleus or smooth endoplasmic rough endoplasmic reticulum or smooth endoplasmic reticulum. You can shortly say RER or SER. The main function of ER is detoxification of poisonous material and exchange of materials between the cytoplasm and the nucleus. Function of RER is site of protein and they manufacture the protein. It consists of many ribosomes. So the surface is rough and they named after rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now you can see in the image how does endoplasmic reticulum look. Nuclear membrane. It is the outermost layer of the nucleus. It helps in the exchange of material inside the nucleus or exit of the material outside the nucleus. It contains the chromosome. Now you can see the basic structure again. How does the cell look like? You can find nucleus, nucleolus, ribosomes, cell membrane and nuclear membrane surrounding the nucleus and the cytoplasm. Let's talk about the Golgi apparatus. Now Camillo Golgi, already discussed, a famous biologist and the scientists recognized the Golgi body in the nerve cell first. And so later it was identified as the Golgi apparatus. They are located in the nerve cell as well as in every part of cells. They are in a parallel way. It consists of the system of membrane bound vesicles arranged approximately parallel to each other in the stack called the misters. The main function of the Golgi body includes storage, modification, packing of the product in the vesicles. It helps in the synthesis of lysosome, which is also known as suicidal bag. Golgi apparatus, you can see it is quite spongy and with many foldeds. You can see it has cystins, lumens and the secretory vesicles within it. Let's talk about the lysosome. They are known as suicidal bag of the cell. They look like rounded bodies, consist of digestive enzymes. Lysosome act as a cleaners or sweepers of the cell. Lysosome act as a suicidal bag as they consist of powerful digestive enzymes. Now you can find the place of lysosome within the cell. Mitochondria, it is the most important cell organelle because it save or it occupies ATP, which is also known as the currency of the cell. It is the major source for the energy uh, energy release as well as storage of energy. It is known as the powerhouse of the cell as it helps in the production of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Mitochondria have two membranes covering in which outer membrane is porous and in nature, while the inner membrane is deeply folded. It is a double membrane structure, outer membrane porous and inner membrane deeply folded to create a large surface area for the ATP generation and all the biochemical reactions. Adenosine triphosphate in the energy currency of the cell, it is used for ranking new chemical compounds and for all the mechanical works within the cell. Now see, how does this mitochondria look alike? You can see the outer structure or outer membrane is quite porous, whereas inner membrane is quite folded. You can find matrix and cristae within the structure. Now let's talk about the plastids. They are present only in the plant cell. We have already discussed about the plastids in our previous parts. There are two types of plastids, chromoplasts, the color plastids, which imparts the color to the plant, and leucoplasts, which are colorless or the white plastids. Plastids with the chlorophyll pigments are also called the chloroplasts. They can be green, red, yellow, brown or purple, depending upon the type of the pigment they carry. Functions. So chloroplasts are known as the kitchen of the cell. It helps in the synthesis of food by the process of photosynthesis in the presence of sunlight and carbon dioxide. Electroplasts stored the material such as starch, oil and the protein, whereas chromoplasts impart the colors to the flower which help in the pollination. This way, plastid cell organelle look alike. You can find they are like a coin-like structure, grana and stroma. They are in the arrangement of the granum. Vacuoles. Vacuoles are the storage sac for the solids or the liquid materials. They are large and numerous in the plant cell because they need to store water whenever it is available. They are small or absent, especially in the animal cells. Vacuoles, small vacuoles, they are present in the cells. Now cell wall, it is the rigid out covering outside the plasma membrane is known as cell wall. It is found mainly in fungus, bacteria and the plant cells. It is found in the plant cell because it wants to protect the plant cell from the external environment. Generally, it is absent in the animal cell. Cell wall you can find, which is the outermost layer of the cell. Membrane or plasma membrane or the cell membrane. So plasma membrane is the outermost covering of the cell that separates cell from the external environment. It is semi-permeable or selectively permeable. It is flexible and is made up of liquids and proteins. It helps the cell to engulf the food or other material from its external environment. This process is called the endotriosis. For example, in amoeba, this helps the engulfment of the food using pseudopodia. This way, the plasma membrane look alike. You can find the structure of plasma membrane in detail. Cell membrane. You can see the structure of cell membrane. How does it form outside the cell and the inside the cell? Mainly, it has lipid bilayers, proteins and the carbohydrate chains. Now, let's talk about the diffusion. You know that the movement of substance from the region of high concentration to a region of lower concentration is called the diffusion. It plays an important role in the gaseous exchange between the cell as well as cell and the external environment. When the level of oxygen inside the cell decreases, oxygen from the external environment of the cell enters by the process of diffusion. So mainly diffusion of oxygen takes place in the alveol cells within the lungs during breathing. So diffusion look like this. You can see the particles which are there in the higher concentration are moving to the lower concentration. Let's talk about the solute. Solute transport is from the left to the right. Movement of the solute is due to the concentration gradient. Osmosis. So osmosis is the passage of water from the region of high water concentration to the region of low water concentration through semi-permeable membrane. A membrane which permits entry or exit of some materials in the cell is called the semi-permeable membrane. It also prevents the movement of some material purposely. In our previous slides, we have talked about the isotonic, hypertonic and hypotonic solution and the movement of water by the osmosis. If a cell is placed in a medium which has higher water concentration and lower solute concentration, that is the outside solution is diluted. So cell will gain water, cell will gain all the water by the osmosis and swell up. Such solution is called the hypertonic solution. But a cell is placed in a medium which has lower water concentration than the cell, then the cell will remove all the water, and this is called by the process of osmosis, which is known as hypertonic solution. When cells are kept in a solution more concentrated than the cell, they start shrinking as the water comes out. In this process is called the exosmosis. The absorption of water from the soil by the plant root takes place by the osmosis, because surrounding the root there will be a more water concentration there inside the root. So through osmosis and water enters the root cells. The absorption of water from the soil by the plant root takes place by the osmosis. If the water concentration outside the cell is similar to inside the cell, it is called the isotonic solution. No net movement of water takes place in such conditions. You can see both the conditions, sugar molecules and water molecules. So where water molecules are more, they try to move towards the sugar molecules. So this way osmosis takes place. So this was the quick revision and summary of entire chapter 5. I hope you have understood this chapter well. You have seen all the figures and the function of cell organelles. Try to draw all the figures by your own. Try to label them, and most importantly, write down the PDF provided to you in a sequence, and wherever necessary, draw figure and label them. Remember, biology is all about the figures. You have to draw them neatly and label well. So see you for the next chapter. Hope you have enjoyed and like it. Thank you.